So we're here with Scroobius Pip, talking poetry. Can you just give us a bit of an outline in regards to how poetry's influenced your work?
Yeah, I mean, I started off as a spoken word artist, and I still do a lot of spoken word, and it's kind of how music is. Dan does the kind of electronic and hip-hoppy beats, and I put spoken word over the top of it. And we've just played the poetry, the BBC Poetry 10th part of this festival, and it was really good to do, because I think the poetry season of the BBC has been really good, but a lot of it has focused on older poetry, and it's been a lot of it, and not in a having a go way, but a lot of it's been more poetry season for people who are already into poetry. But the current UK poetry scene is so strong. You've got people like Central Tempest, or Kate Tempest, as she goes under now, Polar Bear. I had Itchy from King Blues down to one of my nights. I think he was coming in, and there's just loads of really good acts, and it's good that there's some part of the poetry season at least that is promoting the new poetry on the scene, and yeah, just a really vibrant, exciting scene at the moment.
Okay, and how are you looking to evolve your poetry going forward?
Well, it's just, I mean, we're working on the next album, and it's just, yeah, it's making sure I'm hoping to do a short tour, spoken word tour, to test out all the new album stuff first, to see that it works just standing on its own as poetry. I'm working on as well, hopefully for the end of the year, getting a book of poetry out, and I've been asked by a few people to put out a book of poetry, but it's always felt arrogant, because I don't read much poetry myself. I like to see it from live, so the idea of me putting out a book of poetry when I don't read much seems a bit backwards. Like, there's nothing worth me reading, but you should read mine. But the idea I had was to try and get people like me into reading poetry, and I've had a load of my poems through MySpace and Twitter and all that. I've contacted people and had a load of my poems illustrated, so I'm going to be releasing it as basically a graphic novel. So it will look and read like a graphic novel, and then you kind of realise that you've just read a book of poetry, and it hasn't been depressing and boring and stuffy and dire, as a lot of people think poetry will be, which is the change in image that we need to get across. So yeah, that's hopefully on its way.
Excellent, excellent. And lastly, who has been the most influential poet, if you can name one, in your...
It's really tough. I mean, people like Gil Scott Heron, and rappers like KRS-One and Rakim and that were easily poets. Q-Tip was on the other night, and he's one of the most eloquent and the greatest writers of all time. But then more modern people like Sage Francis and Saul Williams showed me that it doesn't need to be spoken word or hip hop. The two can exist together. It can be one living, breathing thing. And then on the UK scene, there's tons of inspirational poets. People like Polar Bear, people like Poem in Between People, who've got a band at Venice City now. People like Kate Tempest, just an amazingly talented poet, so young and so raw, yet just amazingly intelligent, and it's got great delivery and styles. Yeah, it's just taking influence from everywhere, really.
Brilliant. Okay, thanks a lot for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And open doors dramatically.